Hi, welcome to July's Q&A. There's a lot of questions today, so I'm going to go through quite quickly. Okay, so we're going to start with Evie_Porter. Are there any healthy drinks I can have as an alternative to water, trying to avoid alcohol and fizzy drinks like Diet Coke, but water is so boring. So a favourite in my house is sparkling water with some lime and mint, but you can use different herbs. Maybe try a bit of basil's quite nice in it, or rosemary. You can try put, seasoning it with all sorts of different things. Or homemade iced tea is a really good call, using rooibos or peach. Peach and ice, and herbal teas as well. Herbal teas are great. There are things like Innocent makes fizzy drinks now, but you just be careful of all the gas. That's all. Okay, Olive SW. What food is good to replenish a very dehydrated body? It depends why you're dehydrated, but I would say things like olives are quite good. Things like with salts as well, so things with electrolytes. So drinks with perhaps some Himalayan crystal salt are really good. Actually, that's a good one to do. Try some water with Himalayan crystal salt and some sort of sugar, like a coconut sugar or something like that, that will help to boost your energy. And the salt will help you to keep your water in the body. Maddie loves this. Yes. What other than sugar helps in this heat with low blood sugar symptoms like dizziness and feeling peaky? I like to fast between meals, so snacking doesn't do it for me. It's sort of similar to the last question actually, is you need some electrolytes in, so think ice and coconut water, that's always very ionising. At Shauna_Redmond. Hi Rose, how can I get more protein in my diet without meat and eggs? I'm always on the go, which means I'm terrible at bothering to soak beans and pulses overnight. Thank you. Okay, well for a start you can get beans and pulses, Shauna, from that are already soaked in packets, ready to go. So try getting those. You could also get some nuts and seeds, are really good forms of protein. You also get your good fats from them. _Frockstar. Best foods to prepare for IVF. Okay, so you don't want to have an anti-inflammatory diet as much as you can. Try to stay away from things like sugar, alcohol, coffee. Fresh, healthy foods, so fresh vegetables and stuff like that. Try zinc foods. And they're great for wound healing. It's also really important for hormones. And perhaps you could even look at taking a zinc supplement actually. And I hope that's helpful. And good luck. At Cappy Phones. Sorry. Keto or vegan better for weight loss? It depends which way you want to go. I think vegan is a more rounded, healthier diet than keto diet. It's much more based on fresh vegetables and plant protein and stuff like that. And if you do it properly, it's a very, very healthy diet to follow. And it's got longevity to it, so you can, it could be a lifestyle choice rather than keto, which is more aggressive, so you would lose weight probably faster with a ketogenic diet, but that's because of the water loss as well as anything else. Somologist, I'd love to hear ideas about dealing with a fussy eater. So someone else wrote on this, a friend of mine wrote on this about fussy eaters, that they're very, very difficult. She said she's a fellow nutritionist and she's tried everything and it's very hard. I mean, there are things like mixing, blending up all the greens into a tomato sauce and they don't notice it if you blend it up really smooth. My advice would be to change things like white pasta to brown pasta, brown pasta to brown rice pasta. You just gently change things. Nuts seem to be quite good if your child is okay with nuts. You could just make the healthier options. You can get things like lentil crisps now if that's what they eat. You can't expect a child to go from one thing to another. Their palate and their taste buds are used to what they eat or have been eating. So try to gently change it. So that's why putting a tiny little bit of spinach pureed up into a tomato sauce, if that's what they eat, is a very good start, and then you can build it up. Also smoothies. Try getting them to make smoothies, even if it's just with fruit to start with. It's a good way of getting some plant phytonutrients in there, and they like making it. I think engaging kids with how food is made is a really good trick. But yes, anyway, good luck with that. Susanna Taylor _ how much water do you suggest a day? It depends what you're doing, but 2 to 3 litres a day is the rule of thumb. And you do have to be careful not to drink too much, because if you drink 5 or 6 litres a day, you could now moa. Rosemary, what is your opinion on apple cider vinegar as a kind of digestion support? Overrated, underrated, should it be provided in special dosage? I'm a big fan of apple cider vinegar. Get a really good organic one, and it's really good. It really helps to stimulate the gallbladder, so the bile secretion and stuff like that, and so that helps with the breakdown of fat. So yeah, I think it's a great thing to do. It's also alkalizing to the body, and I would, for me, I would take a tablespoon before I eat, 10 minutes before I eat. Before you eat, that's what you should do. Damien.Kelly 2. Recommendations for a cure after England win the World Cup on Sunday would be great, as I am doing a charity run the following day. Oh, well, I watched the semi-final last night and they didn't win, obviously, you know that by now. So they won't be, so hopefully everyone will be fine. A lot easier, thank you for that, England. But if you do happen to watch World Cup anyway, which I'm sure you will, vitamin C is a really good one to have. So take, I'd say take 2,000 milligrams before you go to watch the World Cup, 2,000 milligrams before bed, and 2,000 milligrams in the morning. That would be a thing, just a basic. Make sure, the thing with alcohol is it's very dehydrating, so you need to actually drink more than one. You can't do one wine, one water, or one beer, one water. It doesn't work because it's more dehydrating than one glass of water. So you need to try and do a couple of glasses of water in between. Make sure you eat properly. Try to get as much good food in you as possible. I mean, it's everything that you'd expect, really. At Sarah.Mayhead. Hello. Any foods or supplements that are key for teenagers who are permanently tired and to help with hormonal skin? Thank you. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Foods and supplements. I mean, kids need to. I would say smoothies are another good thing here, because for skin, it would be great if she was having. We're having lots of berries. Because they are full of antioxidants, very hydrating for the skin. You need to make sure they're drinking enough water, because that helps to flush anything away for their skin. Try to get them to eat some greens to help liver support, because that will help with the hormonal digestion, if you want to put it that way. Fatigue. It's also just a hormonal thing, so maybe if you get the hormones moving through the body quicker, she won't feel so tired. I think of vitamin D in the winter, that's what I was thinking of, vitamin D in the winter, because teenagers tend, my kids don't really stroll around outside in the sunshine. You know, so if they're an indoor kind of teenager, then make sure they get some vitamin D. Make good and mend. Hi, Abby. What is your view on collagen powder? I have a nutritionist friend who swears by it and G friend who thinks it's not a waste of money. Please resolve this dinner party debate. Well, I don't really know what I think it's good. It's great, but I wouldn't swear by it. I don't use it that much in my practice, but it does work, and I do have some clients who are on it. And I mean, the medical profession are always a bit wary of this sort of thing, but clinical study shows that it helps. Hannah Polly 4. Do you think intermittent fasting is effective? Eating sensible amounts of healthy balanced food from 12 noon to dinner at 6, and then fast for until 12 the next day. I love an intermittent fast if you do it properly and you don't sort of get to 12 o'clock and stuff your face with all sorts of rubbish. Then it's great, and it's a very easy, doable way for people to keep on top of their energy levels, keep on top of what they, and be mindful about what they're eating. As long as it doesn't feel punishing, then I think it's a good thing to do. Your gut gets a nice rest. And I'm terrible because I graze all day. You don't need to. You don't need to be eating all day long, and your gut does better with the rest, and you feel more energized, and your brain fog clears quite a lot when you're doing this intermittent fasting. So as long as it's not punishing and you feel good on it, then I think it's good. And as long as you're eating really good nutrient-dense meals when you do eat, then yeah, I think it's a good thing to do. _Lou Jackson _ I have a 13-week-old baby boy. I've just moved onto formula, and my hormones, hair, skin seem to have gone haywire since I stopped breastfeeding. Anything I should or shouldn't be eating at this time? Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? You get really amazing hair when you're pregnant, and then my hair just went to nothing when I stopped breastfeeding. There's an old school supplement called Vinegar, which is great for hair and skin. It's called Vinegar. It's a very well known skin and hair remedy. Things like omega-3s, so your fish oils, things like zinc would be really good for you to include in your diet, zinc foods, because you need to have some help with your hormones. Also, the other thing is you've also got a lot of hormone action going on, so try perhaps including some wheatgrass, or I'm just thinking of liver things to help your liver support. So greens like spinach or chard, or it's in season. Well, those two are in season. Or rocket and things like that, or chicory. They will help your liver to stimulate your liver, which will help process the extra hormones that are going through and get them out, get them gone, so that you can return to normal. Your hormones will take a little while to settle back down. Bear with it, and they will settle down, but it can take up to 2 years, they say. Patrick.Horan, Can nutrition and lifestyle changes put autoimmune conditions into remission? It depends what's causing the autoimmune. It depends what, if it's stress, then you need to reduce the stress. But food definitely can have a huge impact on it. So the food that you want to look at is an anti-inflammatory diet to try to calm the system, because autoimmune is an inflammatory state. Your immune system is angry and it's like, and depending how it's coming out, whether it's psoriasis or lupus or whatever it is, it's because it's angry and it's overreacting to something. So try to find out what helps your body to stay calm. Also, if it is a skin condition, what calms that skin condition. So in general, things that you should try to eat in an anti-inflammatory diet: more fish, more fresh fruits, more whole grains. Just really what you'd imagine. Dairy can be very inflammatory. Wheat can be inflammatory. Gluten can be inflammatory. Sugar can be inflammatory. Alcohol, coffee. All good things. No, but find out what's causing inflammation if you can, by eliminating things, putting them back in, just being mindful and seeing how it reacts. But you want to keep up good fats, you want to make sure you're getting nice lean proteins, and you want to make sure you're getting loads and loads of fresh vegetables. F.A.L.Phi. Can eating too many grains, including lentils, spelt, beans, etc., inflame the stomach? They're quite difficult to break down sometimes. So things like lentils are well known for causing gas, and beans as well, for that matter. So they're just complicated to break down, and sometimes they sit in the stomach and ferment, and then they cause gas. But we really want the gut to be able to break them down. So if you're really having trouble, so perhaps this is where an apple cider vinegar before you eat them would be really good, because it will help stimulate, it will help get the fire going in the belly a bit more. And hopefully you'll find it a bit easier to break them down, and it won't have such side effects. Wendy Rigg, which foods are best for vitamin D? Well, there is a bit of vitamin D in animal proteins, there's a bit of vitamin D in eggs, there's a bit of vitamin D in dairy, but not a lot. So mostly we get vitamin D is from the sunshine. We metabolise it in our skin. When the sun hits the skin, it goes in. So that's where we get our vitamin D from, which is why in the winter, if you're in a northern, if you're in a dark climate, like winter climate like England, for example, in the winter you need to supplement with vitamin D, because the sun isn't strong enough to generate vitamin D in the skin. Lowther_V. As I am too far north for your 5-day plan, I'm trying to follow it up here. Can you continue to take Ultra Clear Plus after the 5 days? Yes, you can. It's a great powder to use. It's the one that I make for you guys is a mixture of a few things and sometimes it has a bit of wheatgrass, sometimes it has a bit of acai. It depends what season we're in. But Ultra Clear is a great powder. It's got loads and loads of good stuff in it. So yes, absolutely. At Jalina_Deer Hunter. Hello, I would like to ask if there is any advice about a healthy nutrition after a cesarean and a future mother planning to breastfeed. Thank you. Yes, so get lots of vitamin C foods would be good here. You need to have and vitamin E foods, so things like grains, nuts and seeds, and some nice oils. You could use an avocado oil, or you could use a flaxseed oil there, or you could get evening primrose oil is a great one for vitamin C for healing, because the vitamin C is to help the collagen and the fibres to come back together.